Is renting out an Airbnb for one day just to fish a private pond worth the money? Oh my gosh, dude, this is big. What's cranking, wieners? Welcome back to another episode of Airbnb and Bass. On this series, we scour Airbnb looking for some of the coolest Airbnbs that not only have some nice amenities, but of course, some private waters. On the last episode, we attempted to rent an Airbnb in a residential area, thinking that we could legally fish the pond, and well, how's it going? Yeah, we're staying at that Airbnb at 1501.
Can't have that on you though.
Why is that? They've got a canoe right there.
Because you can't. It's against our bylaws.
Okay. Of course, the whole mission of this series is to find loopholes to fishing sneaky little ditches that are hopefully full and teeming with some good fishing. In this case, the fishing was lackluster. The Airbnb was okay, and we encountered, of course, a Karen who didn't like us fishing their waters. But today we are at a new property just on the border of Oklahoma and Texas. Instead of sharing this pond with other residents, we basically rented out the entire property. So let's have a look at our Airbnb that we'll be staying in for today, and next go check out the pond. Welcome. I see you guys have already made yourself at home. This is gonna be base for the next couple of hours. What a decent little pad. Unlike the last place that we rented, which was in the very urban setting of DFW, this is on the rural outskirts of DFW, and it is absolutely stunning out here. No cars, no trucks, no planes, no automobiles, just crows, birds chirping, and pure bliss. But instead of a house, this time we rented what I believe to be is a barnaminium, which is pretty nice. This property boasts, I believe, like 20 acres. There's a couple different places you can stand here. There's a little cabin over there, a small double wide, and of course we had to go full luxury and get the full size barnaminium. Let's take you guys on a quick tour. Over here we got the little kitchenette, nice little farm style sink. Again, with the electric range top. Everyone loves electric range tops. Gas is just so overrated. I know I said that in my last video, but I wasn't being serious. I was totally kidding. Fridge over here, it looks like. Got some storage space, tons of storage space in here. Wow, look at this. Wow, lots of rooms for trinkets. My wife Kaylee would love that. She's a big trinket gal. This is very nice. Full-size fridge. You know we've already got it stocked up. We've got some pops, we've got some corn, some ribeye, some seasoning. Throughout today, we're gonna have a little feast as well, so figured we'd get locked and loaded on that. Over here, we've got the El Baño, strategically placed right next to where you cook food. As my daughter would say, this is where you go TT and poot. It's actually pretty nice. Got a tub, shower. I love the style of the barn in Maine because everything's open. It's like a good hang spot. I've got a barn up in Maine and I absolutely love it. I want to spend more time in there than my actual house because I can keep my boats in there. I got a fridge, I got washer and dryer. This reminds me of it, and I dig this place so much more than the last Airbnb we rented. The last Airbnb was just okay. Huge island table that has wheels on it, but I don't know how you'd get it on wheels because it weighs as much as a small VW Beetle, but that's pretty cool. Next to the pooter in the kitchen, living space. Everything is open here. I love it. You can go straight from the fridge to the living space, watch some TV, and just chill after a nice day of hunting and or fishing. Again, the whole wall seems like it's storage. I don't know if those are all cupboards, but if that's the case, that's absolutely insane. But this is storage, this is storage, this is storage. I bet it goes all the way up to here. Wow. Oh, check this out. They got ping pong. Or if you're a DJ, you can play beer pong here too. Oh! Oh, I'm on a roll right now. Of course, next to the pong table, you gotta have another fridge. I'm guessing this is a bevy fridge. Place to put your, oh.
You know, as anglers, we're always so concerned about what we're feeding the fish, but never stop to think what we're feeding ourselves. That is why I partnered with Factor Meals to sponsor today's video. Factor Meals is an amazing opportunity to get fresh, delicious, healthy food delivered straight to your doorstep. These meals are never frozen. They're ready to cook within roughly 2 minutes. You just shove them in the microwave, pull them out, and you got yourself a delicious restaurant-style meal ready to eat. Eating healthy has been one of the most challenging things since I've started filming and fishing YouTube. Everywhere we go that's remote or desolate seems to only have a couple of food options, one of which is greasy gas station pizza and of course those infamous roller hot dogs that have been sitting under a heat lamp for 24 hours. That stuff is garbage. It's not good for you. So as of recently, I've been taking some of these factor meals, putting them in a cooler, and when we stop off at an Airbnb or a rest stop, I just plug them in, wait for them to heat up, and then enjoy. I know I'm putting good stuff in my body, I'm feeling fresh for the next day of fishing, and I know that I'm not sacrificing my health with what I eat. So if you're looking for a great way to eat delicious food that is healthy for you and that comes straight to your doorstep, check out factor75.com and be sure to use my code 50JohnB to save 50% off your first order, plus the best part, free shipping. Eat right, eat healthy, check out Factor Meals. Huge shout out to them for sponsoring today's video, and go catch a big one for me. I'm not actually gonna cast it, I gotta eat this later. I think that was supposed to remain locked. Did you open that up earlier?
No, I thought it was locked.
I think I broke it, dude. Lots of meat, like deer meat. That's definitely the owners. Hopefully the owners don't watch this video. I don't think I broke it. I think it's, no, I definitely broke it. All right, well, I'm gonna have to contact them and reimburse them for their fridge. Oh, I didn't know if it was locked. There should be like a little sign here. I thought it was just an extra fridge for bevies. It's full of meat. Well, goes to show just because you're at Airbnb doesn't mean you can just touch everything. Way to go, John. Anyway, let's move on. Diner table, family meals right here, I'm guessing. Sweet little place to put your computer, do some office work, towels. You know, at a certain point, this gets a little bit boring, but some of you guys are interested in the actual Airbnb itself, and this one, in my opinion, is pretty unique. One other thing this Airbnb has that the other one that we stayed at doesn't, is got a little loft space. You've got extra bunks up here. I'm guessing this is where everyone sleeps. Wow. So it looks like there's 2 beds on either side. You got like a little queen here. The headspace is kind of tight. I can see myself waking up in the morning and just smoking my brains on some wood. But it's got a big TV in here, a little vent for heating, so that way when you wake up on a brisk morning like today, you're nice and toasty. And there's another bedroom over there, just identical. And then it looks like in between here you've got 4 bunks. So this place could, in theory, comfortably sleep 10 people. Yeah, not including the couch. You could have 2 Jambokes down there sleep on the couch. This place is nice, but as I mentioned prior, we didn't rent this barnaminium for the stay. We're not here to spend a couple nights and kick it and explore the town and hit the city scene. We were out here to do some fishing. So let's go check out the pond. Stunning. This is gorgeous, man. What a contrast from the last time that we filmed a video like this. I was definitely on high alert because we were fishing a very populated area, houses all around, docks everywhere, but this is so much nicer. Even outside from a fishing perspective, I'd love to just stay here and wake up to this view every morning. Got a nice deer feeder over there, some ducks just dipped out, and maybe we're gonna see what's lurking in this little ditch. Fingers crossed. Wow, here we are. This pond looks sick. We're here at the water's edge. The water's clean, there's grass. It does look a little shallow, but you know, my pond in my backyard is like 3 feet deep and they're still fishing, they're thriving. Here are the tools. I've got 2 rods with me. We're bank banging today. No kayak, no big boat, just hitting it from the bank today. Got a reaction rod and a spinning rod. On the reaction rod, I'm throwing a little Guggen clutch. Junior, this is in like a translucent gold craw. If you guys want to check some of these baits out, I would highly recommend doing so. They're hot right now, it's getting cold down south and up north, and the clutch season is upon us. Be sure to use my code JohnB to save 10% off. Along with the clutch, I brought a little finesse stick if we do have to fish slow. It's freaking freezing this morning. It's like 32 degrees in early December here in Texas, and if we have to jiggle a little tiny cube or a drop shot in front of the face, so be it. By all means, we're gonna catch fish today no matter how it goes down. So let's get to casting. Looks like it's a little bit deeper over here. There's like frost on the edge of this pond. It has been so cold this year in Texas. I guess we're technically almost in Oklahoma, but it's just been freezing down south. Our warm days are starting to trickle away. All right, nothing on the clutch. I might need to slow it down. It is still early in the morning, and that water temp is probably frigid. Nice thing I'm seeing though is there is a little school of tiny bait fish. I can't tell if it's like juvenile shad or juvenile bluegill or what, but they're really small, like less than an inch big, and they're right along the shore. So there is life here. It's always a crapshoot when you're renting out these Airbnbs to fish. Like, you really don't know if the fishing's gonna be good. Like, they don't advertise fishing for this place, but they do say you can fish it, you can canoe on it. They just don't say if it's got, you know, bass or bluegill or just catfish.
So we'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely see. I guess now that I'm saying out loud, it's quite the risk spending a little over $100 to basically fish a pond for a day, which I know to some people might seem super overpriced, but you have to understand, we're doing this for an experiment. We're having fun. We're just showing you guys a little bit different perspective as to how you can go about chasing fish. And you can't deny, it's nice having a whole pond yourself. There we go. We're on, baby. What is this? I've actually caught something. What do we have here? Oh, not the intended species, but a little yappy. That's pretty cool. Buddy came up and hammered that thing. Nice little white crappie. We're after bass today, but honestly, I'm down to catch anything, especially on a cold day like today. I'm just trying to get tight on a fish. I wouldn't even mind just catching crappie today if that is what is in this lake. Like I said, we haven't seen any sign of bluegill or bass, but behold, proof of life in the pond. I was throwing the clutch and the drag and drop around with no bites, and I'm like, something's not right here. Either there's literally no fish in this pond, or they just don't want what I'm throwing. So I made a little adjustment, throwing the Guggen Scout with a little bit of flash foil on the back to make it a little bit brighter, and this little yappy came up and crushed it. Nice little Texas crappie, my first one of the winter. Let's kiss him and send him back. Bye-bye. Oh wow, that was an epic release. Just swims right into the mud. Buddy, the water is that way. I need to help him out. You know, I gotta be honest, crappie aren't the bright, yep, exactly. Crappie aren't the brightest little things on earth. He's still there, he's stuck. My friend. He's goobified. There he goes. Yes! Was it worth $112 a night? I don't think so, at least not yet. But that was my maybe 20th cast in this pond, and at least we know that there are fish in here. Let's go. Earlier I was throwing the clutch, which I was fishing a little bit too fast, I believe. And after I realized they weren't eating that, I switched up to the drag and drop on a drop shot, which is a great cold water lure. But I don't think that they're on the bottom, or at least obviously the crappie aren't. Usually when the water temp gets in like the low 50s, high 40s, fish often will suspend. They just don't know what to do with themselves. They can't figure out where the warm water is, so they just kind of sit in the in-between. And along with the crappie and bass, the bait does that as well. The shad will kind of suspend and start to die, so the fish will follow suit. Oh, there's one. That's something else. What is this, another crappie? Is there a bass? Oh, what is it? Another crappie. It's jumping like a bass though. I did not have catching 2 crappie today on my bingo card, but here we are. Second white crappie. A little bit bigger than the last one, but absolutely hammered it. It's funny, I think they're coming up and rising to the surface because I saw a couple like fish come up and pop through. They're bluegill or crappie, but it'd be very weird if crappie were coming up and grabbing air or bugs on the surface, especially when it's this cold. This little side of the pond is very deep. We're basically standing on what is essentially the dam, and this is my second yappy of the day. Nothing big, nothing giant, but beautiful. And honestly, we roll the dice every time we go to one of these AirBnB ponds. It could be absolutely legendary, or we might be surprised and find ourselves catching some yaps on jerkbaits. Wow, like an absolute perfect looking fish. Kiss him, spank him, send him back. Nice. I bet they're over here just suspended on this dam, not really eating, not really being active. And as I'm rolling the Scout right through their zone, they're just coming up and they just can't resist it. They're just like, ah. That's what crappie do. They make that exact noise when they eat a bait. They go, ah. What was that? Oh, I just got some grass. I thought a hippo sat on it for a second. I just got hit. Oh, another bite. I'm on. We have weight. We have weight, but not in fish. What is this? You guessed it, another yappy. I've evolved. We started today off by throwing 2 things that I'm now no longer throwing. A clutch and a drop shot, that obviously didn't work. So I threw the jerkbait and I discovered there's some suspendo yappies out there. And with that in mind, I'm like, okay, the jerkbait's probably a little bit too big and aggressive. So I've now evolved and graduated to throwing what I know to be a very good cold water bass lure, but also a good crappie lure. This is a 2.8-inch Guggen saucy swimmer on a 1/8 ounce weight. If these crappie are out here suspending on this dam, we're gonna have a field day with them. And two, also get a good shot at a big one. I, again, have never fished here obviously before, so I'm basically starting from scratch. I have no idea what lurks down there. And I think that's an exciting thing about any body of water, whether it be a private pond like this or a big lake, just starting from the bottom up, you know, going full Drake mode from starting from my face is starting to freeze. Starting from the bottom and making it all the way to hopefully here. Oh, I feel it. I feel it. I felt it. We're on. Come on, please be big. This is honestly so much fun, man. Ooh, it's digging a little bit. I just want to let you guys know, one of my first videos on YouTube ever was catching crappies on cranks. Oh yeah, it's a little bit better. Nothing really changes with me. I'm still out here catching crappie, they're just not on cranks. Wow, dude, look how that fish ate it. White crappie are my favorite too. They get, in my opinion, a little bit bigger than black crappie. And they like to run in numbers, so usually when you find one, you can find 100 more. I suppose black crappie are the same in that way, but behold, the crappie. Catching them on the boundary lines of Oklahoma and Texas. Thank you. Back in that crystal clear water. Why do they do that? Every one I've released just buries its head into the mud. He's like, oh yeah, the ponds are that way. So cool. Later, Stinky. I want to give a quick invitation for some of y'all watching right now. If you yourself have a rental property that's got a pad and a lake located anywhere throughout the United States, send us an email. I'll put my email right here, and we'll come and film and promote your Airbnb, your Verbo, or anything for that matter. We're just looking for cool places to continue this series and bring you guys along with to show you a unique way that you can, you know, travel and have a nice little getaway while breathing in some fresh air and then also maybe catching some fish. I'm having fun though. Catching crappies from the bank. Can't tell you the last time I did that. Oh yeah, that feels a little bit better. That feels a little bit better maybe. This is a crappie. It's fighting so nice. Is it a crappie? Yeah, it's not even that big. He's just fighting like hell. This little guy's pulling here. Dude, the Guggen sausage swimmer is eating them up. What a specimen. I love you, crappie.
I love you too, John. Thanks so much for putting me back. If you were Rackley, you would have eaten me.
I can speak to crappie like how Harry Potter speaks to snakes. I got that parcel tongue. I got that crappie tongue. Dude, literally, as I'm just making a stupid joke, I'm hooked up again. This guy, he's coming in like a little bit of a wet sock. His little brother fought way more, and he's actually a little bit bigger. It's endless. I would consider keeping some of these crappie, but again, this is not my property, and I don't know what the specific rules are if the owners would appreciate us keeping their fish, so we're gonna send them back. But it would be really nice to put some of these guys in a frying pan and, as Ratha would say, make some golden crispies. Later. Right in the mud again. Dude, I feel so bad. There he goes, he just swam off. They're really not that deep. I mean, they're probably only like 5 feet below the surface. Unbelievable. This is madness. We cracked the code. Once you find one, you find the whole school. Golly, that one hammered it. Oh wow, this feels decent. They all feel decent, honestly. This actually might be the hardest fight I've gotten from any crappies ever. Is it a crappie or bass? It's a crappie, it's a better one. That's a little bit better one. Look at the size of this guy. Oh yeah, that one's nice. That's definitely our biggest one of the day. That one might be close to 12. Dude, Caleb, we're actually catching some decent fish. What do you say, it's about 12? Mm-hmm. Edging. Oh, edging, can I say that? Edging on 12. And the best part, they like what we're throwing. Just guzzled it. Wow, that's a nice one. There could be some hammers in here. If there's like some 10s and some 12s in here, there could be some 14 and 15 inchers. It'd be nice to stumble upon a 16. That'd be the goal. Beautiful. Bye-bye. Well, that one did not swing in the dirt that time, which is good. Put it there, Caleb. Hey, it's starting to actually be worth it now. If you wanted a good little getaway in Texas and wanted a nice little pond all to yourself to catch crappie, This is definitely the place I would go. It's my first cast on a bite. Oh, nope, did not catch them all. This one feels really small. Oh, maybe not. What do we have here? Fired up little one or a big lazy one? Oh, that was a nice one.
Big lazy.
That was a big one, dude. Look at the boil it left. That was a giant. Oh my gosh. There are big ones in here. Holy moly, it was like a 14, 15 incher. Dang it. Oh, it's okay. I'll get another chance like right after, don't worry. Although I don't think this one's gonna be any bigger than the one I just hooked. Gosh, dude, that was a good one. Yeah, it's a little guy. Wow, that's a good sign. There are some heads in here. We just gotta catch them. Whoa, this guy's got a weird lateral line. Even the little ones would have some good fillets, but I'm just gonna be respectful and not assume that I can keep their fish. I'll catch and release today. That was a nice one. Hammered it. Ooh, maybe. Those are decent head shakes for if it is a little fish. Oh, it's a nice one. It's about this, almost as big as the biggest one we caught today. Not quite as big as the one I dumped though. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh! I'm a happy man. This pond is sick. I have not like moved my feet. I'm just literally planted here, casting over and over again, popping nice yappies. Big old mouth on that guy. Nom, 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 nom. See ya. Hey, how's it going? Good, good. What can I get you? Yeah, can I get a Michelob? Michelob? Got it. Thanks. So, what brings you to town? I guess just in town doing a little crappie fishing. Give me that. What's that guy's problem? Whew. Well, the fishing around here is great, but the service absolutely sucks. We're back at the Airbnb, warming up a little bit. As far as 2024 goes, this is the coldest day that I have fished all year. It's almost 12 p.m. and it has not even reached, I think, 45 degrees yet. We're gonna let those crappie cool off for a little bit. And in the meantime, we're gonna cook some steaks. That's the beautiful part about renting an Airbnb like this is you've got the luxury of having water right there at your fingertips, while also having a beautiful place like this to come back, chill, cook food, have a couple bevies, and ultimately unwind. So we got some steaks in the fridge, some corn on the cob, and we're gonna get to grilling. I present to you grilled meats. Well, Caleb, I hope you like your steak well done. Somehow I managed to burn both of the ribeyes. The corn is crispy, to say the least. But hey, this is the beauty of doing these Airbnb videos because we not only get a place to kind of chill for a bit, let the water warm up, but we have a place to cook, eat some good food, some nice protein, some starch. If I didn't overcook it, I'd say that is a perfect looking meal. But it's been a while since I cooked on charcoal and, well, it shows. Bon appetit. Back at it like a crappie addict. We let the water warm up a little bit, had some steak, chilled out for a second. Trying something a little bit different right now. Seeing as we already know where these fish are at and we've determined that it seems like it's just gonna be a crappie pond, I figured we'd have some fun. I've never done this in my entire life, but what I've concocted here is basically a tandem rig. Up top here, we've got a small finesse hook geared up with that Guggen 2.8-inch saucy swimmer. And below that, we've got a little jig head with the same swimmer as well. And I want to see if we can attempt to catch 2 crappie at once. Something I've never really done. Catching 2 fish at once is like every angler's dream, and very few times is that possible. But in this scenario where we're fishing an unpressured private pond, I think we've got a really good chance. Here goes nothing. Oh, stunning cast. Stunning cast. Let's see if they're still there. It's been about 3 hours since we've taken our last cast. Gonna catch 1 for sure. Oh my gosh, dude, this is big. What do I have? This is not a crappie, dude. This is not a crappie. This is not a crappie. Caleb, what do I have? I don't know. No. This is something giant. Like a big catfish or something. What do I have? What do I have? Mind you guys, this is the first cast after not fishing for 3 hours. Dude, it's fighting like a giant catfish. Or it's a huge bass. Or like a freaking huge bass. This is not a crappie, dude. What did I just hook? Oh my gosh. You guys, this is crazy.
On the tandem.
On the tandem rig. Oh my gosh, what is it? Is it a catfish or a carp? It's all wrapped up, I think. I just got a glimpse at it. It is big. It is not a crappie. If it's a crappie, it's a state record crappie. What do I have? Oh my God, it's a big grass carp. It's a giant grass carp. I think I accidentally snagged this fish, but it felt like it bit though. Like I felt like a tap and then I set the hook. It's a giant grass carp and it's fighting weird because it's like foul hooked, I think. No, I think I accidentally foul hooked it. Oh my God, dude. This is insane. This is like being hooked up to a giant bull red. I'm like palming the spool right now. Oh my goodness. This is exactly what we needed. It's so funny. We went from thinking that there's no fish in here to maybe that there's just crappie. Now we've got a completely different fish hooked. Stop fighting. Oh my God. That was nuts, dude. It took like a big tarpon run. This is insane. Just in the back of the tail, which is like the worst place to hook a fish. Unintentionally snagged. Foul hooked, I should say, not snagged. Foul hooked. It's a fun fight, I will say. This is not very sportsmanlike to accidentally hook one in the tail. Wow, this thing is huge. I gotta be careful to tail grab him because the hook is in the tail. The reason why this fish is probably in the pond is because the owner of this Airbnb stocked it to control the grass levels. These fish are very, very effective at controlling and mitigating the amount of grass that can sometimes choke out a pond, especially a clear pond like this. I got her. I'm gonna try to lift her out of the water. This might get hectic. There we have it. Not only did I not expect us to just have a strict crappie morning day of fishing, but I did not think that we'd catch I did not think we'd have a chance at snagging one of these absolute behemoth grass carps. This thing's probably close to, I don't know, 15 pounds. Hooked in the tail, foul hooked, on complete accident with our tandem rig. She's unhooked right now. Get a quick look and send her back so she can keep eating that grass and managing the ponds. That was unfreaking believable. Whew. Well, if you want to get the heart racing, go out there and snag a grass carp on ultralight. That was ridiculous, dude.
There wasn't a hot dog.
Come on. Come on. I don't know if it's 2. It's definitely 1. We got one. We got a yappy. Oh, he ate the top one. I'm like, where's the other lure at? He ate the top one. Damn. All right, well, we got 1 on the tandem. We got to get 2, though. They don't seem to be as thick as they were this morning, probably because it's now a little bit warmer and they've dispersed and not as schooled up, but it's a good sign. Send this guy back. Later, Stinky. Let's get back in there. We got to get 2. I think it can happen. If we can find the school again, and I think they've moved, but if we can find the school again, I think we can get 2. It's supposed to be like a finesse jig trailer. I don't know. I'm just not a big, like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna keep it in the water for a second. Maybe another one grabs it. We're hooked up. We might have 2, I don't know. We might have 2. We got 1 for sure. No, just 1, but I think I found him. I got bit just to the left of that, but it wasn't a good bite, and then I went to the right a little bit. Oh, they're grabbing the top one. Second fish to grab the top one. That's interesting. Means they're hanging a little bit higher than I anticipated. Almost there. Almost there. Got one, we just need another one to grab it. They're right there. I guarantee I get another bite. Right there, that's where they're at. They're like, I think they're just out of reach. Oh, no, there's another one. Oh, I just had them. I'm like trying to let it hang there for a bit so another one can catch up to it. I'm not feeling like multiple bites. I want to feel like two at once, like boom, boom. Please. Found him. I just don't know if I can get two at once. Oh, this is a squeak. This is a squeak. They're getting smaller. No, another top hook one. That's so interesting. I wonder why they're only going for the top swim bait on the drop shot hook. Bloink. They're still there. Not as hot and heavy as they were when it was cold. Top hook. I need to throw another hook. Caleb was saying I need to throw another hook on top of this top hook. So I've got a triple rig because they don't want to eat the bottom bait. It's so interesting. Another one bites the dust for the micro saucy. Micro saucy, micro fish. At least right now. Earlier we were catching some much bigger ones. We got two, we got two, we got two. We got two, baby. We got freaking two. I just had to slow things down. No freaking way. Mission accomplished, man. If you're gonna make something like this happen, it's gonna happen in a private pond where these fish receive no pressure. Obviously, it's not to say that you can't catch two fish at once in a public scenario, because I've done it too, but this might be the first time I ever caught two crappie at once from the bank. This place is awesome, dude. So much fun. Right there, that's dinner. I mean, that's dinner for me. And if I make another cast and catch two more, then Caleb and I would be eating good tonight. But we've already had our steak and corn on the cob, so it's time to send these guys back and let them grow up to become 15 inchers one day. It's hilarious. Later, stinkies. Oh, derpy and gurpy. You got one guy swimming into the dam, and the other one doesn't know how to use his tail. Put it there. Mission accomplished. Wieners, that is going to conclude yet another episode of AirB and bassing, or should I say AirB and crappieing. What a hidden gem we've stumbled upon. This is only the second video that we filmed exploring Airbnbs here out in Texas, and I definitely don't think it's gonna be our last, and that leads me to my next question. Where should we film next? Of course, I call Texas my home, and these places aren't too far from where I live. However, I want to explore outside of this state. So if you have any ideas or suggestions of Airbnbs, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Send me some links. Let me know where we should go next and film and explore and fish and hang out at. Not only was this an amazing crappie fishery, but it was also an epic hang. So that leads me to my last and final point, and that is, what rating would I give this exact rental spot? I would say the barnaminium is an easy 8.5 out of 10. Epic, chill spot. You could bring the boys here, you could bring the family here, you could have a bachelor party or bachelorette party here. Insane rolling hills that lie on the border of Texas and Oklahoma. This is quite a quaint little spot. I think overall, Airbnb is an 8.5 out of 10. View and scenery, 10 out of 10. Fishing, in my opinion, while I was anticipating bass, we were happily surprised with some of the best crappie fishing I've had in quite some time. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, only because I think the variety in this pond wasn't insane. But a 7 out of 10 is pretty freaking good. I mean, that, in my opinion, is a passing grade, and we had a whole lot of fun. So 8.5 for the Airbnb, 10 out of 10 for the view, and 7.5 for the fishing. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Be sure to DM us, let us know where we should film next, send me an email and give us some suggestions, and you better believe it, we'll make it happen. But for now, I bid farewell to all you beautiful folks out there. Thanks for watching, and as always, folks, keep snagging carp and catching crappie. Never stop.